Hey, what's going on everybody? Jake the Happy Snake here, and welcome to the preview video of Jake's Habits. Again, this series is going to be starting this Wednesday, 1 hour before the Montreal and Toronto game, and I'm going to be posting a new video in this series 82 times this season, 1 hour before each of the 82 games of the season. And, in each video I'm just going to be talking about the previous game, I'll be giving a little bit of a review on how I thought the previous game went and what I think the Habs need to change, and then I'll be giving my thoughts on the upcoming game, like my prediction on what I think the final score is going to be, and which players I think are playing really well and which players I think need to play a little bit better. And I'll be talking about goaltending and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be doing this 1 hour before each game of the season, and this video is going to be the preview of the entire series. In this video, I am going to be reviewing all 6 of the Montreal Canadiens preseason games, because their preseason is done. Some teams are playing 8 preseason games. I think maybe even most of the teams, I'm not sure, but the Habs only played 6, and their preseason is finished now. They had their last preseason game last night against the Ottawa Senators, and well, I'm going to be reviewing. So, the first preseason game was on the 25th of September. That was a Monday. It was against the New Jersey Devils, which I still think is kind of strange, because they had a preseason game against them last season, and that was the first time that I think they had a preseason game against them. But yeah, I still think it's kind of strange, like a preseason game against the New Jersey Devils. They're not even in the same division. Like, it's just kind of strange. But they lost 4-2 in that game. That was in Montreal. They lost 4-2. Jack Hughes had 3 points. I mean, he's a really good player, obviously. Josh Anderson had 1 goal, and Alex Newhook and David Reinbacher both had assists. Joshua Waugh also had a goal, so him and Anderson had the only 2 goals to the Habs in that game. And then Simoneau, he had an assist. So did Jesse Ylönen. Xavier Simoneau, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that properly, but he had an assist. And I think he's definitely a prospect, I'm pretty sure. But the Devils, they had like a really long streak last year. They had, how many games did they win in a row? It was like 14 or something, or 13 or 14 or 15, something like that. And that's pretty much what got them into the playoffs last year. So it's going to be tough to beat them. But so that was the first preseason game. The second one was against the Senators in Montreal on the 27th, so 2 days later on the Wednesday. They played against the Senators, and we won 4-3, so that was nice. Caulfield had a goal and assist, so he had 2 points. Suzuki also had 2 points. I mean, those are the 2 best players on the team, I think, and I think most people agree with that, Caulfield and Suzuki. Suzuki had 2 assists. Doc had an assist. Davidson had an assist. Gignac had a goal. Actually, I think I watched a little bit of this game. Monahan had a goal. Norlinder had an assist, and Matthias Norlinder is actually the player that I'm wearing a jersey of right now. Because a lot of the players in these games are probably going to be playing for the Laval Rocket this season, so that's why I'm wearing my Laval Rocket jersey and my Rocket hat. And then David Savard had an assist, and then Juraj Slafkovsky had a goal, which was awesome. He only had 4 goals last year, 10 points, I think, the whole season. He did have that suspension. He was injured for quite a bit of it. But still, it'd be nice if he had a few more points this season. And then William Trudeau had an assist in that game as well. So yeah, we won 4-3, which was nice. And Primo was in net that game. I actually didn't talk about goaltending in the first game, but Primo was in net. He saved. He only allowed 1 goal. He had 17 saves, and then Allen had 10 saves and let in 2 goals. So this is honestly my honest opinion about goaltending. Primo, I still think he might need a year or so, but Jake Allen, I mean, Primo's not the best goaltender, but I mean, he let in 1 goal on 18 shots. Allen let in 2 goals on 12 shots. That's not really good, especially for someone who's going to be who's supposed to be the #1 goaltender. Like, he's supposed to be the main goalie for the Habs. That's not really good. And I was frustrated with him last season, and I have a feeling this season it's going to be the same. Honestly, I wasn't overly thrilled with the DeSmith trade. I was kind of looking forward to seeing how DeSmith was going to play for the Habs. But instead, where it's going to be the same with Allen being the number one and Montembeault being the backup. Montembeault, I think, is good. I really like Montembeault. But Allen, I mean, I had 3 players on my list last year that I really wanted to be traded. 2 of them left the Habs over the summer. Joel Edmondson, and Jonathan Drouin. They're gone. Edmondson is not going to play with the Capitals, and Drouin is going to play with the Avalanche. The third one was Jake Allen, and he's still with the Habs. But you know what? It might not be too much longer. We'll see. He was good the first year or so, and then last year, no. So anyways, yeah, so that was the second game. And again, I didn't talk about goaltending in the first game, and that was my bad. So the next 3 games were all against the Leafs, and I watched them. I watched most of them, and they were a little bit kind of frustrating at times. I know they're just preseason games, but I freaking hate the Leafs. I really, really do. So the first game was on the 29th of September. The Leafs won 2-1. The only goal that the Habs got was by Josh Anderson. He had 1 goal. Lindstrom had an assist, and by the way, he was placed on waivers today along with Yoel Armia, and Sean Monahan had the other assist. So in net, that game was Primo. He saved 24. He had 24 saves on 26 shots. You know, pretty good. Pretty good for him, I would say. So yeah, the Habs lost that game. That was in Montreal, but you know, I mean, again, it's preseason. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter at all. But still, you know. And then the next game was on the 30th of September, and that was the night that I had the NHL fantasy draft with my brother, my dad, and my brother-in-law. We're all in a league on the Yahoo fantasy league thing. We had our draft that night, so I was trying to do the draft while watching this game, the one on the 30th of September. But the Leafs won this game 3-1. You know, I'm just looking at the you know, Nick Robinson had a goal, Matthew Knies had a goal, but we're not really talking about that. We're talking about the Habs. The only goal in that game was by Keegan Gooley. I really like him. I think he's one of the best youngest defensemen, one of the best younger defensemen on the Habs. I really, really like him. Kovacevic and Newhook had the assists. Of course, Newhook being probably the most popular ad over the season. Like, I was pretty excited when they got him. So yeah, that game. So it looks like Dobbs. Is that how you pronounce that? Number 75. He played in that. He made 7 saves on 7 shots, which is good. Montembeault played that game. He had 12 saves on 15 shots. He led in 3 goals. Again, I like Montembeault. I think he has some good games. He has some bad games, but I do think he's pretty good. And then the final preseason game against the Leafs, I think the Leafs were winning like 4-2 at one point, or 3-1 or something, and I just gave up. And then I was really shocked to find out that the Habs actually won that game in overtime, 5-4. I was really, really surprised about that. Suzuki had 3 points. He had a goal and 2 assists. Dach had a goal and assist. Kovacevic had a goal and assist. Sean Monahan had 2 assists. Josh Anderson had a goal. Anderson had 3 goals in the preseason, which is pretty good. Caulfield had an assist. Jordan Harris had an assist, another good young defenseman. Norlinder, again, he had a goal, which was nice. Slokowski had an assist. Xhekaj had an assist. That's another young defenseman I really like. And then in that game was Allen. He landed in 4 goals. He made 25 saves on 29 shots, which it's pretty good. I mean, for Allen, I would say it's pretty good. So yeah, I was really happy. Again, the preseason means nothing. They're exhibition games. They don't mean anything at all. But I hate the Leafs. Like, for me, in terms of all 32 teams, the Habs are my favorite, Leafs are my least favorite. So, yeah. But one day I would love to talk about the 2021 playoffs, because that was just fantastic. So anyways, we're on now to the final preseason game, which was the one that was played last night against the Ottawa Senators. And I drove by the Canadian Tire Center, because I do that every day on my way to work and on my way home from work. I drive by the Canadian Tire Center because it's on my way to work. But I knew that they were playing the Senators, but I didn't know if it was in Montreal or if it was in Ottawa. So if I had known it was going to be in Ottawa, I would have actually looked to see if the parking lot was busy or whatever. But we won 6-4. which was really, really nice. Harris had 2 assists. I just talked about how I like him as a young defenseman. Monahan had a goal and assist. Suzuki had a goal and assist. Justin Barron had an assist. Caulfield had a goal. Jake Evans had an assist. Harvey Bernard, really like him. He had an assist. Mike Matheson had an assist. And again, Norlinder had an assist. So he had 3 points in the preseason. Pizzetta had a goal. Slokowski had a goal. Jack had a goal. Slokowski had 2 goals in the preseason, which I'm really, really happy about. I'm hoping that he's going to play more games this season and, you know, get some more points. Like I said, 10 points, and I'm not sure how many games he played, but it wasn't the whole season last season. So there you have it. So out of the 6 preseason games, the Habs won half of them, which is okay. That's 50%. It's okay. One of them was in overtime, but, you know, still, it's okay. So that's it. That wraps up the preview of Jake's Habits. Again, I'm really excited for this series. It's going to be awesome. The first one is going to be 1 hour before the Habs and Leafs game, the season opener for both those teams, I think. So home opener for the Leafs. It's a season opener for the Habs. Well, again, for both. I'm really excited for that. That video will be out at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. It's going to be really, really good. And yeah, this is going to be a good series. It's going to be exhausting. There's going to be a lot of work ahead, but I'm really, really excited. And that's what that's what the whole point of this video was, is just to be a preview of what each video in the series is going to be like. And that's exactly what it's going to be. I'm going to be reviewing the previous game and then just talking about the upcoming game and what I think will happen, what I hope happens. I mean, I hope the Habs win every game, but you know, it's not going to happen. So that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you all back here on Wednesday for the first real episode of Jake's Habits. It is going to be awesome. Thank you all for watching. Peace out.